Hello there, I'm Trevor, and in this episode of Somewhere in the Middle, we got another teaser trailer to watch. That's right, our first look at He-Man, Masters of the Universe, is here. I am so excited to see what this trailer looks like, so let's go. Okay, so before we get to the actual teaser trailer, let's just set the precedent. So this morning, I get a text message from a dear friend with the link to this teaser trailer, and my brain was like, my little 7-year-old, 8-year-old self thought, oh my gosh, it's finally here. It's time for Masters of the Universe. So enough hubbub. Let's get to it and see what this teaser trailer looks like. All right, let's get this video queued up here. Masters of the Universe. When times were simpler. Is that really it? It's just a 25-second teaser? All right, well, let's check it out. Let's see what happens here.
Not long ago, when times were simpler, this was a healthy breakfast. This was a powerful workout. And this was a hero. Perhaps now more than ever, we need that kind of hero again.
Trailer tomorrow. Dumb. So it was just a wait, really? That's all that was? That definitely was the definition of a teaser. It was 30 seconds. It literally showed us bubkiss. As far as the movie goes. The only thing my brain thinks, and I guess tomorrow we get the full trailer or teaser, whatever, I don't know. But we'll add this together and be one ginormous thing. So Adam's gonna come from like the real world and then go in? I don't know, I can't tell, but he's dressed like it's modern times. I like they did the pink and the white thing, but like, I don't, he's gonna be from like our world and then be pulled into that world? I don't know. That's at least what that teaser kind of made me think. Anyways, whatever. There's our first look. I'm just, my brain is wondering why that's what they decided to drop. The silly, like, oh, it was 80s, you know, ha ha ha. He-Man's memed to death. Everyone knows it was a different time when He-Man came out. But I don't know. Okay. In the next sequence, we're going to watch that full trailer. See you then. Okay, it's time for our teaser trailer. So I am queued up here. We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, and...
All that stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords that can make a man as mighty as a god. Where I come from, that stuff
Eternia
is real.
Okay, wait, what?
Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe.
Oh.
So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. Yes.
This obsession with nerd stuff and small things. It's
Not good for human resources.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Okay, this is interesting.
Hold on, it's about to get weird.
Cringer. Look at Man-at-Arms without his suit.
What am I supposed to do?
Shut it off. Oh, Beast.
Protect them.
Wait, didn't it make Beast orange? Oh, wow. Oh, there it is. Okay, he is. Even then. He-Man. We gotta say I have the power. Okay. Wow. I don't know. So, immediate reaction is I'm confused. I guess we're going for the like outsider to learn about Eternia. He-Man's going to be the outsider. So that's interesting. That's like my first thought, is that was the idea that, of course, they sent He-Man away. His mom sent him away so that he would be safe. He grows up and comes back, but now he's an outsider and he's supposed to lead or something. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not going to be into that, but I don't know. That's an interesting way to get into the story, rather than just being Prince Adam and like He-Man. And we're just like in that Earth, or not Earth. We're in Eternia. We're in that world. So it's interesting that he, again, is kind of fish out of water in Eternia, even though he's from Eternia. The look I'm in for. I think that the look is great. They give us hints of all the toys that I had. Dad, thank you so much for back in the days buying me so many He-Man. He-Man was one of my all-time favorite things. I have a chip on my shoulder that you gave away all my toys when I turned like 13 or 14 because I took such good care of them. But regardless of that, yeah, we saw teases of all of the cool toys that I liked growing up and had. And so on that level, my inner child is like, ah, but my adult like thinking brain is kind of wondering if the story will click this way. Other than that, all in. I mean, I'm all in regardless. I'm going to see this movie. And it's kind of crazy that in 2026, we're going to get Masters of the Universe. We're going to get another Super Mario World, I guess, or Galaxy. I don't remember. We're getting a Mortal Kombat movie, and we're getting a Street Fighter movie. I'm sure there's more like properties from my youth, but that's crazy that all of those big things are coming in 2026. Like when I was, we're talking like 8 to like 12. I've got to get ready for class. So it's like 7 a.m. right now, almost 8 a.m. And I got to get ready for class. Kids are coming in about 20 minutes. But I'm going to give you some more thoughts, so stay tuned for a bit more thoughts here in the next segment. Okay, so we've watched that trailer, and we've seen what it is. Let's talk a little bit about He-Man, Masters of the Universe, the teaser trailer or the full trailer that we just saw today. You guys watched me react to in real time there. Right out of the gate, I love the look. I think they nailed the look. And I think that probably was one of the big things that was an important piece here, was that they nailed the look of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Eternia looks okay. Cringer looks like Cringer. Man-at-Arms looks like Man-at-Arms. You're not giving them a different outfit. We all remember the days of studios being afraid to make a movie that looked like its original product. For instance, the X-Men, right? The first X-Men movie we got, they're all wearing just black suits. The first Masters of the Universe movie, in some senses, did give us the look, but then it just created like random characters that were not part of the universe that we were used to.
Holding out on us, huh?
Just in time. I was going to share.
Sure you were.
So in this instance, I think they nailed the look. And of course, that probably might have been one of the most important things. I think Marvel learned that very well as well, right? Or Marvel kind of benefited from the fact of always using the actual look, the comic book look, as close to the comic book look as possible, rather than being something that was completely different. The next thing we should talk a bit about is cast. So this cast, it's a mixed bag of like, I don't know who the heck you are, and then I know who you are. right? So Idris Elba obviously is playing Man-at-Arms. That's cool. Jared Leto is playing Skeletor. We do see Skeletor in this trailer, but we do not see anything of Jared Leto. I think I'm interested how much they market it that Jared Leto's in this movie. He seems to be kind of a death knell for stuff. Tron Ares might be an example there. Kristen Wiig, I guess, is the voice of Roboto, or Roboto? I don't know, Roboto. The dude playing He-Man or Prince Adam of Eternia, I don't know who that guy is. Nicholas Galitzine. I'm probably saying his name wrong. What has he been in? Probably some romantic stuff that I would never watch. The Idea of You, yeah. But hey, hopefully he surprises us in that sense. Looking over the name of people that are here. Yo, where's the voice of Orko? I don't see his name in there at all. Also, I don't know if Beastman is in this movie. It looks like he's in it. He's in the footage, it looks like, but I don't see him listed here on IMDb. I see Pig Boy. I see Ram Man, Mechaneck, Trapjaw, Triclops, Fisto, Goat Man. I don't remember Goat Man. Tila, Evelyn, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, the Sorceress, right? All of them are there, but where the frick is Orko? I don't know. How mad are you going to be if we don't get Orko in this movie? Orko is like one of my favorite things about He-Man Masters of the Universe, at least the cartoon, right? He wasn't my favorite figure, but he definitely was one of my favorite things in the cartoon.
What's this? My old wand. Now, what are the right words? Let's see. Hoblins, goblins, witch's brew? Yeah.
Couple other quick things to talk about. After watching the trailer and getting ready for class and whatnot, I had some time to think about it. I wrote down a few things here for you guys, for me to talk about. Obviously, you can see. And, let's talk a little bit more about the fish out of water scenario. Again, this is probably the biggest thing that's going to take away from some of my expectations is the idea that it's a fish out of water story. I don't know. Like, how much of the movie is going to be He-Man or Adam learning, right? I kind of want to just get into it, but I don't know. Maybe there's probably discussions about, and it was probably believed that we should care about Adam, right? And learn with him about Eternia and care about Eternia. So maybe that's why we're doing a fish out of water story. And he's coming in as an outsider learning about this rather than just we're dumped, you and I are dumped into Eternia and figuring out what's going on. I mean, it's obvious. We know that the simple scenario here, Skeletor wants to gain control over Eternia. He wants to gain control over the Castle Grayskull. And so there's an ensuing fight that's happening, right? I mean, that's the gist of it. But again, how much are we going to get of Adam learning all of that and how he can play a role? And I don't know. So I'm a little weary about the fish out of water story. That being said, something positive to think about and talk about when it comes to the fish out of water story, or just the story in general. This movie is being directed by somebody that I kind of trust. I say kinda because I only have 2 efforts from them, and both of them I'm behind. The director is Travis Knight. Who's Travis Knight? Well, he did. He worked for Leica and he directed Kubo and the Two Strings, but outside of that, he also directed Bumblebee. Okay, one is a unique original story, and the other one is kind of like this, like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, a franchise property that people care dearly about. Bumblebee, plenty had said, and we talked about this earlier, of things not looking the way like toys did. Transformers is a great example. The first Michael Bay movies did not look like the Transformers did in the cartoons, right? And Bumblebee wasn't even a Volkswagen. Well, I guess he's a Volkswagen, but again, there were some things that made people question it. So Bumblebee was far more straight out, let's do it kind of a film. And, so that being said, Travis Knight is directing this. He didn't write it. This is another one of those movies that's written by committee. So I'm going to put my faith in the fact that he might have the right vision here for it. But again, the story is still a questionable factor. I hope you guys are enjoying a little bit of a different. Normally, I'm static and I'm just sitting down. I feel like moving around today. This is normally how I am in my classroom. I like to move around, walk around, and talk with my students, engage them that way. And so I'm kind of following suit today in this episode, and we'll see how it goes. I didn't feel like sitting down and creating shots that way. So instead, we're just moving around and being fluid as we talk a little bit again about the trailer for Masters of the Universe, or He-Man Masters of the Universe. Let's talk. Next thing up on my list there was expectations versus hype. Hype versus expectations. So the hype is real. It's freaking He-Man. I grew up with this. It was like a childhood thing. I had almost all the toys, at least up until a point. I'd have to go in and look. I'm not that hardcore that I could tell you exactly what wave or whatever or what years, but I'm not a toy hunter in that sense. I do love, and I'm a big collector guy, as you guys have known and seen in some of the episodes previously. But there's a lot of hype behind the potential for this. When I was at Comic-Con this last year, if you haven't seen that episode, go give it a look. We got hyped up by the Mattel booth, by the Masters of the Universe booth, to say how great, we're gonna love this movie. It's going to be. They kept talking about how it's for the fans, and so they're building the hype. Again, my expectations got lowered by the fact that this is a fish out of water story. And then they kind of balance out a little bit in the sense that it, again, is being directed by Travis Knight, a director that, Kubo and the Two Strings is a fire movie. I really, really like that movie. I know he played a role in Paranorman as well. So that's another one. He didn't direct that, but played a role, producing role. The hype for me is real, but the expectations, I'm not going to put them in the sky. I don't expect this to be a great movie. I want it to be fun. I don't want to walk away annoyed and pissed off. That's where my expectations are with this film. I don't know. What is it going to be? It's going to be a silly, fun actioner with a lot of comedy? I hope, because that's the vibe in the cartoon, right? It was super campy, right? I doubt we're going to get fisting. Wow. Yeah. But, again, toe the line here of camp and absurd and serious. I don't know how serious it'll get. I'm hoping that this pushes more camp and absurd, but we'll see how that goes.
Who's there?
Just an old friend.
Skeletor, how did you get in?
Another fun question to think about, and this concept is that, the cartoon was basically made to sell toys. So in that sense, is this movie going to be made to sell toys, make more sequels? Exactly what? Of course, it's a franchise. Of course, the studios behind it want to make money off of it and extend the life of the franchise, right? They want to breathe more life into it in a sense. But what do you think? Is this going to equal more toys for us? Are we going to see, Masters of the Universe He-Man toys that are coming out based off of these characters? And will it trigger a whole new wave of collectors? I don't know. That might be far-fetched. I'm sure people like me that grew up in the 80s and really loved He-Man might be apropos to start collecting, because I know the same was said for Transformers fans. Are you going to be revisiting the simpler time of the 80s and watching some of those old cartoons to set yourself up for this feature film? He-Man was easy to watch and easy to laugh at. So that's definitely something that this movie should have. I guess we can add that to my expectations pile, that this movie should be easy to watch and fun to laugh at. The only other thing that I kind of want to talk about is the aesthetic look of it. Again, I've already mentioned the look, but I want to come back to one thing. Seeing Castle Grayskull, man, that's rad. And I'm excited to see what's inside of Castle Grayskull. Are we going to have hidden rooms and trapdoors and things like that we see in Castle Grayskull? Again, I'm pretty hyped on the potential of things that we could get to see. But then there's the balance of how much of that is just fan service and how much of this is actually a good movie. So I don't know. That's a weird balance to be in. And this trailer definitely set up a lot of, expectations, hype, buildup, in the sense that I want a silly movie. I want a fun movie. Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot to ask from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So thanks for watching this episode with me and thinking a little bit about He-Man Masters of the Universe, reacting to our first full trailer. I mean, this episode we got to see the teaser as well as the full trailer. And what say you? How do you feel about this He-Man Masters of the Universe? Are you excited? Are you interested? Does it look stupid? Please tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this 2026 release. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Auf Wiedersehen.